Hey gang, I wanted to take a couple minutes and shoot a short video on this mini 2-inch polisher. When it came to small polishers slash sanders, it came down to two of them, and they were quite on the opposite side of the scale of each other in every facet, actually. Price, use. So you have the Rupees Nano Polisher on one end at $590 for the kit. And then I had this I was looking at the total opposite end for under 50 bucks. I just thought, you know what, I'll pull the trigger with the mini 2-inch Central Pneumatic, and if it doesn't work, you know, under 50 bucks, you know, I can make that back, and then I'll just order the Nano. But I gotta tell you what, after using it, I think I'm gonna save myself the 530 bucks, and here's why.
When you arrived, you came alongside to take me away.
Okay, so this is the kit I have. Starts with sanding discs starting at 60 grit. I have the foam polishing pads. I have the microfiber cutting pads, courtesy of Buff Daddy Kevin Brown. I also have the two boxes of 3M foam backed discs and the compressor that powers everything in the shop here. I've had many questions on, so I just wanted to show it to you here. It is a 5 horsepower, 80 gallon, 175 psi. So first we're going to put on the foam polishing pad, 2-inch, and it is good for headlights. Before we get started, quick one to bring you in and show you the oscillation rotation at 8 millimeters. I've showed you what it can do for headlight restorations, both with wet sanding and polishing. It also works well in the same capacity for both taillights and parking lights. Excellent for door jambs, trim for door panels, interior on the dash, center console, any kind of trim that has a coating or clear coat, just tape it off and this polisher will do a great job on it. It's quick and easy to change out the pads. We're going to take the foam polishing pad off. We're going to apply the microfiber cutting pad. And the tool is excellent for front and rear bumpers with all the contours, corners. There isn't that many areas on an automobile that this tool can't get to. There's so many different applications that the tool excels at that I didn't have time to show you today. But it's also great in engine bay detailing, on wheels, plastic trim. And for a real quick demonstration, we're going to do a surgical scratch repair here. Hope I can get the right angle so you can see. There's a cluster of scratches running up and down the fender. We'll tape those off and remove them in 2 steps. So to get it done in 2 steps, we're going to do the wet sanding with 2500 grit. Keep an eye on the area you're working on closely. Stop to remove residue so you can keep an eye on the correction of the scratch or the blemish you're trying to work on. And I can see here I haven't gone quite far enough, just a little bit more to go, so we'll keep on moving. The 2500 grit disc obviously doesn't cut quite as quick as the 1000 grit that I usually start with, but to cut it down to 2 steps, we're going to completely remove the scratch here and jump straight to the polishing pad. Sometimes it's not in the budget for the customer for me to go through the full motions in removing and correcting scratches and blemishes 100%. So this is an alternative here. It's a 2-step correction, wet sanding, jumping straight to the polishing pad. And as always, I'm going to pause to bring you in. I always like to bring you in and show you what it looks like in between each step, so you kind of have an idea. So basically what we've done is removed the scratches and blemishes with other tiny little scratches from the 2500 grit. We're going to rip that off. We're going to put on the polishing pad. We're going to use a heavy cutting cream, and we're going to remove those scratches as well. A simple crisscross pattern, up, down, then left to right, will do the trick with the Angel Wax cutting cream. But I may want to quick switch out and put on the microfiber cutting pad before we end this. And that will do it. But just for the heck of it, we'll swap out pads. I'll slap on the microfiber cutting pad, and we'll just do a quick pass with that. This setup here would do great by itself on swirls, oxidation, and some light scratches. Okay, let's remove this residue. I'll tear off the tape. We'll come in and take a look at just a 2-step process. Real quick surgical repair. So there you go. Yeah, this little polisher does just as good and actually surpasses the performance of most polishers its size, and for a tiny fraction of the price. So gang, there's not much choice when it comes to little polishers and sanders like this. If you don't mind dragging along the hose, the air hose, for a pneumatic tool, which I don't because I've been working with pneumatic tools for decades, it has become second nature by now. If it does bother you, you may want to go with the cordless nano and go ahead and spend that money. To some people, money's no object. I'd rather go and spend what I saved from buying this on my son or my dog or something else. But yeah, if you don't mind dragging the hose around, this is 10 times more powerful than any battery operated polisher is ever going to get. And at $530 cheaper, this is the one I'm going with. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate. If you want to put down below what you guys use for smaller or mini polishers, put it down in the comments section. This is Brian from Apex Detail. Catch you in the next video.